welcome to A Father's Note, one voice, one strength, all man. I'm your host, Lionel Nelson, and we're certainly glad to have you, glad you're able to have taken the time out to join us. We want to welcome all of you that are watching us on Facebook Live. We certainly appreciate that. And again, we just ask that you, as always, please comment, feel free to comment. Please feel free to start a watch party, share, whatever it takes to get this word out, okay? So I just want to just do a follow-up. Now, initially, we were going to do an interview as to the topic of what we feel is just my thoughts and my interviewer's thoughts on what we feel is wrong or believe is wrong with Black America or Black culture, however you want to address it. However, unfortunately, my interviewer was unable to make it tonight. So we're going to have to reschedule. We're going to reschedule. Now, so what I did reach out to someone else, and because I still want to do this session as far as this video, as far as an interview form, okay, instead of me just commenting or talking. So what I did, I reached out to someone a brother I know. And again, we're going to have a father talk one-on-one, okay? And we'll let you know when we're going to do the other interview, the other topic in ample time with my future guests, okay? However, tonight, I want to introduce a young man by the name of Lorenza Tyler. And we're going to be talking about fatherhood, basically, okay? So we're going to go ahead on and let him in here. Hey, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay.
All right, welcome to A Father's Note. You hear me okay?
Yes, sir, I hear you.
All right, awesome. Okay. So listen, we're certainly glad that you're joining with us, able to take the time to join in with us. We're going to have a nice, good conversation, I'm absolutely certain. Okay, so what we want to do, the first thing I would like to do is ask you to do is just, can you introduce yourself? Okay, tell us something about you.
Well, my name is Lorenza Tyler, but my friends and family call me Lo. I'm a homebody. My hobbies is my family.
Right.
I ride my bike, and I'm church and back home, man. It's a pretty simple life. It's the basic thing: work, church, home. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, I think we both can kind of count to that, with the exception of one thing. I don't ride bikes. I wish I could. That's a nice looking bike you have there. That's yours, right?
Oh yeah, that's my little my little getaway for a minute, just a little ride, a little hobby, little sport thing.
Man, I wish you had a picture of it. We could show it to the audience, and what you be riding on. I saw one post that you had your little helmet on. I think the bike is yellow and black, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a San Francisco fan, but it's a Pittsburgh colors.
All right. So what type of bike is it?
Well, I have a Suzuki 600, a GX6R, a sports bike.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. How long you been riding?
Well, maybe like 4 or 5 years.
Okay, hold on. All right. Okay, thank you. My technical advisor just had to correct something for me.
Okay.
Okay, so listen, okay, so let's get right into the questions, okay? So you're a father, right? Because you didn't mention that now. You didn't mention you're a father. I assume you are married, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm married. I've been married from 2006, 14 years. I've been knowing my wife, high school sweetheart,
Right, that's cool. Did I hear you say happily married?
Yeah, you gotta be happily, happy life, happy wife. You know how it goes. Yes, man, but okay.
Yeah. So how many children do you have? Can you give us their ages?
Yeah, well, actually, my daughter, she'll be 17 at the end of this month, and my son will be 16 in February.
Okay, all right, they right there together. They right there
Oh yeah.
together. So Timothy, okay, so first question I'd like to ask you, okay, what has becoming a father, what has that meant to you? You becoming a father?
Well, like actually becoming a father, I'm not gonna say I had got like a little actually was raising my sister and brother. My sister, I'm 12 years older than my sister, and 7 years older than my brother. So I kind of like watched, I kind of watched out for them while my father, he hustled a little bit, and my mom worked. So
Okay.
I had like a little, I had like a little, well, I ain't gonna say a little,
Experience?
yeah, a little experience. Like my parents was out. I had to fix them. I learned how to scramble eggs, boil hot dogs, open up the can of ravioli. So, but being a father, it kind of became easy until I had to buy my own food and go get the steak and potatoes and bring it back to the house. But
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
I kind of had like a little experience, a little early experience. So
Okay.
it was kind of cool. Their minds.
So you got a chance to practice on somebody else's children, huh?
Yeah. I had it. Yeah, they were like my little crash dummies a little bit. So,
Don't let them hear you call them crash dummies now, all right?
I love my sisters and brothers. I love my sisters and brothers now.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. All right, that's awesome. So what would you say has been your greatest challenge as a father?
Well, like I heard you say one time in church, because I listened, you was like, I was a fighter, and me, you have one thing we have in common. You said that I used to fight too, I'm a
Right.
fighter, but I choose my battles and I had to fight in a different way. And like I had to be like a quick reaction, like I know is a bad reaction. So I had to I had to set be an example for my kids, and that was the greatest challenge for me, as being an example for my kids and be mindful of like having bad reaction in front of them, So a quick reaction is a bad reaction. So that's really my challenge is the fight, have a different fight,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I remember a lot of those times. I remember one time I had one of my, I tell you, having children and being a father, it would definitely have you to think twice before you really react.
Yeah.
I remember an incident one time. I had one of my children with me, one of the girls, and of course she was a baby at the time, and thank God for salvation. Let me just say that. And came and had a little encounter with a couple of guys, and I had to decide, and she was with me. So I had to decide, am I going to really get into this, or do I just need to get in my car and leave? Of course, I chose to get in my car and leave because I did not want to put her in any danger. So sometimes you really have to think about and take in consideration whether or not you're at work, whether or not you're in the streets or what have you. And you got to make sure that, you know what, this is not worth it. I have a family now. I have a son.
Yeah, we have to choose our battles. And actually I have a lot to lose, so I can't get locked up. I can't go to jail. Who gonna feed my family? Who gonna take care of them? Who gonna lead them? Who gonna do it? So
that's true,
like
man.
A quick reaction is a bad reaction.
Absolutely. I like that. Great. So since becoming a father, okay, what would you say you would do differently now than you did when you first? Because I think you said that your daughter is 17. Yes. And your son is 16.
He'll be 16 in February.
Okay, 16 in February. Okay. Well, you know how children is when they're real close to their birthday, they just go ahead on and bounce it up to the next age anyway. You know how they do that. We used to do that. Yeah, but what would you say has been the learning? What did you learn as far as say 17 years, 16, 15 years of raising your children so far, that first of all, that when you started out as a father, you was this way, you had this mindset, you thought that this is how things should be handled. But now after 17 years now, what would you say that you learned to do differently now?
Well, actually nothing, because like all the trials and the tests I actually been through, it actually made me the man I am now. So I want to take nothing. I want to take nothing. I want to take nothing. I want to do nothing different, because everything I've been through, it made me who I am right now. So it's a life challenge that I have to roll with. I got to roll with the punches. So that's basically I want to really change nothing.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So did you have a role model?
Well, actually, like my dad coming up, he taught me how to fight, you know, and to protect, and like actually how to shoot guns. But my apostle, like my old apostle, he's in Texas. He still call. I still have like little counsel with him every now and then.
Right.
But
Right.
he taught me how to, you know, how to fight on my knees, you know, teach my hands to
Right.
war, you know.
Right. 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 Okay.
So,
Fight on your knees. I like that. That's a good place to learn how to fight. You know, you heard me say that. I used to, you know, I had no problem using these here, but right now, when I learned the scripture, you know, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, okay? But against the spiritual wickedness, principalities in high places, and so forth. All right. Okay. Well, so what do you strive to instill in your children right now? What's important to you as far as, you know, I say, what, let's go to this one. Let me ask this question instead. How would you describe your relationship with your children? Because this is very important, because, you know, when I come across a lot of young people, a lot of them don't really have relationships with their parents, especially their fathers. So how would you describe your relationship with your children?
Well, like I was saying earlier, I was like, I kind of grew up with my kids. You know, I was a little younger when I first had my first child. I was 23, and my other child came when I was like 24, 25. I'm actually 40. So I actually grew up with my kids, but I still have to let them know it's a level of respect. You know, it's a level of respect, and I'm not their friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm not their friend. It's still a level of respect, even though I might play sports with you. We might play a little Uno together, and every now and then I had to ball my son up because he's a little taller than me a little bit, but I still gotta let him know I'm the boss in here. You know, I'm the boss in the house first. You know, so it's a level of respect, and to let them know that, you know, I still love you. We can kick it, we can chop it up, but I'm not your friend. I'm still your father. You know.
Right. So what's your approach to discipline? When it comes to discipline, what's your approach to that?
Well, I really never have to actually whoop my children. You know, I actually I talk to them, and I give them you know, you got to obey your mother and your father. You know, I let them know ain't nobody gonna love you more than besides Jesus and your mom and your dad. Nobody gonna love you more than us. You know, so you know, so if you can't listen to, you know, your mom, your dad, who else gonna love you and do you the way, you know what I'm saying, love you the way I am. So my discipline is, you know, to put the God fear in them and let them know, you know, that, you know, I'm daddy. You know, that's it. You know, don't spell the rod. You gotta let it go every now and then. You know, you gotta let them know. But I have good kids, man. My kids, my daughter, she's an A, B student. My son, he never been in trouble or nothing. You know, so everything good, everything cool.
Is he always that quiet? Because he's real quiet. He's always that quiet.
Yeah, my kids are very observant. You know. Yeah, you know, they're very observant.
But I heard, okay, so what I'm hearing though, I want to thank all of you who have joined in. Hey, Pastor Gillum, good to see you, bro. Glad you're watching, you joined in. Mr. Gilbert, thank you all of you. I don't want to get into name calling, but anyway, thank you all for joining in. Hey, start a watch party, do something, you know, let everybody know we're here. Hello, Miss Warner. Thank God for all of you. Okay, so one of the things that I hear you saying is that, yeah, I spend time with my children. I kick it with them, what have you, but at the same time, I do maintain a level of respect, and I think that's very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and also like when it comes to discipline, yeah, you do it when you have to, but you're not overbearing with it. You're not about the abuse or anything like that, Dale. Because number one, you believe in doing it what I'm hearing as far as how God directs according to the word of God, what his principles say. When you even, you know, I wonder, to tell you the truth, one of the things I plan on doing is, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. I'm planning on doing a video talking about discipline. Okay. And you know, we like to throw that scripture, you know, spare the rod, spoil a child. But nevertheless, though, I have a different perspective as to what most people may feel that scripture means. And when I do that video, I share my perspective on it. but I just find that it definitely has worked for me. But listen, enough to talk about me. Okay, but as a father, what do you do? What do you strive to instill in your children as a father?
Say it again, boss. Say it again, Mr.
What do you strive to instill in your children? What's your main goal as a father? What do you strive to instill in your children?
What's what I'm doing? Well, what I want to instill in my children is like making memories, lifelong memories, and like bonds that will never be broken. And I like watching them grow and teaching them things that I had to figure out on my own.
Wow.
You know, so, I like having memories with them, and like teach and have bonds with them. You know, like my like for like my dad, he was always there for me, but I used to play football, right? But I only actually remember him being in one of my football games. But like on the flip side of it, like my son played football. I was a coach for 2 years. You know, I told him how to put his cleats on. I told him how to his shoulder pads. My daughter was in beauty pageant. I with her in a beauty pageant, ballet and tap. You know, my dad never actually, like, he believed in Jesus Christ, but he never prayed with me. You know, when my kids were little, I had to kneel down and pray with them. You know, so I actually did things my dad didn't like actually really actually like do with me, like on a mushy side a little bit. You know, actually as men, we never actually see a man cry as much. You know, the only time I actually seen my dad cry when I graduated from school. You know, but just being with him. You know, and that's been it.
That's very powerful. Again, what you're saying, from where I sit, you're making a lot of great points, especially because these are the very same principles and values that I believe in. I think it's important that we really take time with our children. You know, it's more to parenting, to being a father, than just to say, well, listen, I'm providing a roof over your head, food for you to eat, clothes on your back. I'm taking care of you, Negro. What's wrong with you? Why you cutting? Yeah. No, it don't. I think it's more than that. Okay, but I like the fact that you really strive to have that relationship with your children. You know how you said that even about that you want long-lasting relationships. When I grew up, I can kind of pretty much relate to the same thing as far as, my father was there, but when, it's just interesting when you mentioned about you playing football and, you only remember your father at one game. Well, I played football. I don't remember my parents at none of my games or even participating. So I think that had a lot to do with me and how I am. I always strive to make sure that I'm supporting my children and 100% of those things that they're doing that are important to them. That's so key. Because if you're involved in them, if you engage in their life, okay, they don't have time to get engaged into something that you don't want them to get engaged in.
You said something key about engage. See, like you said, my dad, he born in 1947, and all back then, like how I looked at his father mostly looked at paying the bills, you know what I'm saying, and going back out again. But I never actually seen like the mushy side of him, or like the emotional side of them.
Right.
And like my mom, she wasn't very emotional. So if you don't have emotions, if you don't see emotions from your mom and you don't see actually emotions from your dad, like I love you and you kissing them, saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually, I ain't trying to get all mushy, but my wife,
bro, I feel you, man.
My wife, she actually like my first love and showing me like actually like how to actually love, like, man, baby, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I never like being whole like that. Cause I remember Pastor Jonas was like, when he was talking, he was like, man, this thug dude, he was like, he never experienced somebody saying I love you, like a man saying I love you. I never actually felt that until actually I met my wife. You know what I'm saying? Showing me that, like, man, I love you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I feel like the love situation. I could hug my son, kiss him on the forehead. Boy, I love you. I don't care how old you is, man. I love you, bro.
Right.
And like, and a daughter always gonna be like a little mushy thing with a daughter. That's there, but it's different from a son and a dad by saying I love you, man. You're the best. You know what I'm saying? Like little things like that. So I kind of do, like, my dad did all he can because he never have a dad to show him he learned from his uncles, and
Right.
he still love me, but he did the best he can. I don't
Right.
judge him for that. But I just want to show more emotion, like, man, I love you, son, daughter, like that, Am I talking too much?
No, you good, bro. You good. You good. You good.
I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited a little bit, man.
I see, but it's good. Hey, you know what? You know how I look at that? You're excited about fatherhood, man. You are proud. You're happy. You're glad of what you have accomplished and what you're doing regardless. It's more than to it that, you just have a child and they don't know who you are. They don't know nothing about you. They can't relate to who you are. You don't want that. Okay, because guess what? It's all about learned behavior, because whatever they glean from you, they're going to take that out there in the world with them, and they're going to continue to duplicate that,
Yes,
and I think it's powerful. The other thing that you said there was about the emotional side. And I want to let everybody know, look, I'm going to say this to them now, because it's kind of like another video that I had wanted to do, is that you find a man who who is not in touch with his emotional side. He will be a man who will be abusive. He will be abusive. If you find a man who cannot relate to emotions, who does not know what love is, okay, he's going to react to it. And the way that he reacts to it is not going to be nice for nobody. And I'm just going to put it like that, So, one of the things that, and the reason that I say that based on what my experiences was, what I went through, what I experienced growing up, okay? And I had my first wife told me this, and I didn't understand. As a matter of fact, I got upset when she told me that. Well, Lionel, you don't know how to love. Lionel, and that thing really shook me, because it was true. One of the things, and listen, I said it before, I love my father, man. My father's a great man, okay?
Right,
but like something key that you said there, that I guess that time frame, that age, and my father was born in, I think, 37, if I stand to be corrected. And I saw how his relationship was with his father. And then I saw our relationship, how it was with him and I. He taught me with what he knew, what he experienced, okay? And he never told me he loved me. He would say it through somebody else, but no, Dad, say it to me. Say it directly to me. Come and hug me. Show me, let me know that I need to have that touch. If I figure this is where I'm at, Brother Lowe, if we can fix our boys and raise them up the right way, we can fix a lot of other issues that's going on in our nation today and in our culture, Okay, well, let me ask you another question. What's your greatest joy? What has been your greatest joy as being a father?
My greatest joy. Oh, that's a different one right there. Yo, so you already put a part. You said you already did instill in part what I want to instill in my children.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Give me that.
Okay. As a father, what do you do to instill? Well, what I want to instill in my children is to make sure they have like a solid foundation, and to choose their friends and to choose their friends wisely.
Wow.
Yeah, to choose your friends wisely, Man, and not to walk in fear, never to walk in fear, and like even though you fall line, you don't give up, you want to keep on, It's not how many times you fall, it's how you get back up again, So you gotta have a solid foundation with God, of course, and choose your friends wisely. You have to choose your friend and never give up,
That's good. When you're talking about them serving God, I know you had posted a video on Facebook of your daughter. I mean, she was reaching the throne of God, man. I wish we could have just shown a little clip of that right now. I mean, and that just speaks volumes to you and your wife, what you're instilling in your children. I think it's so very important. Another key here is that we got to make sure that we raise them up in the fear of God, okay? Yes. In the respect of God. At least, listen, they may stray, they may go their own way, do this and that there, but if you train them up how they supposed to go, as it said, when they get old, they will not depart. They may walk
right.
away from the church, but the church is, that word is still going to be in them. It's going to take word. I like the fact that one of our viewers, they posted that, you know, boys need that male affirmation. And that's so true. That is key. And you know what? It ain't nothing wrong with crying. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get back off the subject, but since they posted that, it ain't nothing wrong with a man crying. Come on, get off of that. Oh, you got to be tough. What you crying for, boy? Boy, you're supposed to be a man. You crying? Man, cry. Cry.
Yeah.
Get that emotion out of you, man. Because guess what? That's how you're going to find your inner self. Because as long as you hold it in.
So you have to ask a counter whatever you're trying to stop doing. If I'm trying to make any sense, I hope I'm not confusing anybody. So you have to, whatever you're doing, you have to put in some godly and whatever you're trying to do. And one more thing too, you can not fun or whatever, man, but you can do plenty of things, man. You can still go skating, you can still go to the gun range, you can still fellowship, you can still do a lot of things, you know. So you have to replace whatever you're trying to do in life, you have to replace the negativity with something godly or something positive, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's true, man. I like that. That's a great point. So it's obvious you are a born again believer, correct?
Yeah, actually, I've been in. I ain't gonna say like I've been in the game. I ain't gonna say the game, but I've been with the church, you know, from a boy, and like I've been in the church for a little while. But you know, my old apostle, like I said, we still talk, and I have no ill mean because he taught me like everything I actually know now. Right. But you know, I've been in the church for a minute, man. Actually, Jesus, my best friend, man. When I ain't got nobody to call on, or I don't have you know, man. Shit, say, I know a friend that stick close than a brother, man. You know.
So let me ask you this question though. So were you a father before you came into Christ, or that was after?
Oh, I was a father before I came into Christ. No, I was always in me because, like, personally, man. I'm not trying to be fake. Everybody don't. You might have a different way you came up. He have a much different way. You know what I'm saying? He came up. But I don't really take advice. Like you say, be quick to listening. You know what I'm saying? James 1:19 says, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to rap. I really ain't really have that many like